exactly is 5G, and how does it work? Internet in 5G. We've been talking about it for a while, and now it's beginning to show up. It's a new type of internet that promises to revolutionize everything from your phone to your home internet to more futuristic fields like self-driving cars and remote surgery. However, 5Gs have also recently been the subject of bizarre conspiracy theories and rumors for a variety of negative reasons. So, to make things clearer, we'll tell you exactly what 5G is, how we arrived, what the innovation behind it is, and any genuine worries that could exist around the innovation. Anyway, what is 5G? Well, the next step in mobile internet technology is 5G or fifth generation. So, what will all of the next generation of smartphones and tablets use to achieve speeds that are even faster than those achieved by our existing LTE networks? Okay, 5G is being rolled out by all of the major US carriers, and by the end of this year, you should be able to get it wherever you live in the US. However, each carrier interprets 5G differently. There are differences in coverage and speeds. Thus, for the last year, I've been trying out every one of the organizations Verizon, AT&T, T-Versatile, and Run is currently essential for that, just to perceive how quick it is and what a distinction it makes in your everyday life. So, allow me to try to explain. Presently, Verizon's 5G is bursting quickly. You can get download velocities of more than 1 GB each second. That's up to 10 times faster than the majority of Wi-Fi connections in homes, and it can download an entire TV season in a matter of minutes. Coverage, however, is the issue. Verizon's 5G is extremely patchy, because Verizon relies for the time being on what is referred to as high-band millimeter wave technology for the entirety of its 5G plan. It is present on one street but absent the next, resulting in virtually no indoor coverage. It was advertised as ultra-wideband 5G in those ads. Yet, the issue is the sign can't travel extremely far. So in a city where it needs to carry out 5G, Verizon has to set up this multitude of hubs all around the city, and that is not exactly useful to do from one side of the country to the other. Thus, later on this year, Verizon likewise going to turn on its low-band 5G organization. However, the rates aren't that a lot quicker than what your LTE telephone can do today. Presently, no part of this is to be mistaken for a phony 5G, which is called 5G. You likely seen it in your telephone status bar times. That is simply rapid LTE. It doesn't have anything to do with the genuine 5G that is carrying out this moment. These are as yet the beginning of 5Gs. We've seen under 12 telephones hit the market that offers these new quicker rates, and a portion of the mid ones were exceptionally buggy and would overheat in the mid-year. With the latest Qualcomm chips, these concerns and battery life have largely been resolved. We've seen those chips in the Universe S20, the LG V60, and the OnePlus 8, all truly extraordinary telephones, yet we're hanging tight for that first iPhone from Apple. It has 5Gs and that is reputed to come later this fall in 2020. Anyway, when we discuss 5G, we are not talking about anything significantly different from the mobile technology we use today or in the past. We should place that in context. The earliest stage of portable innovation, 1G organizations, was sent off. Thinking back to the 80s, dissimilar to different ages, 1G organizations utilized simple signals and could truly just voice calls. You've presumably seen telephones that utilize 1G organizations like the Motorola Dynatac, that exemplary curiously large wireless from 80s films. To Gramps organizations kick things up a score more transmission capacity intended that notwithstanding calls, clients could begin sending information, empowering instant messages SMS and even pictures MMS. Later variants of 2G telephones really might get to the fundamental web like the most well-known to Gramps gadget at any point sold, the first iPhone. 3G organizations offered considerably more data transmission and quicker speeds, and 4G LTE, which is what a large portion of our ongoing telephones utilize, made really quick remote web at chance. Chris mentioned earlier that 5G goes beyond even that with speeds that are sometimes faster than home Wi-Fi. However, the most important aspect is that none of these technologies are fundamentally different. They are undeniably founded on a similar science. However, there have been a lot of misconceptions about 5G, some of which are completely absurd, such as the notion that 5G somehow caused the coronavirus. In any case, the straightforward response is that 5G is essentially equivalent to some other kind of cell radio innovation, and we as of now have a very smart thought that cell radiation isn't hurtful. Naturally, people are concerned about the potential for cancer to form if they use their phones a lot or are constantly exposed to cell tower radiation. However, there are a ton of studies accessible on that kind of impact, yet it has never been demonstrated that for sure there is a cancer-causing impact of openness to radio frequency radiation. In addition, there is concern that exposure to radio frequency fields, for example, the higher the fields, the higher the frequencies 5G will use may hurt the immune system and make people more likely to become infected with the COVID-19 virus. Well, there is no evidence or hint that exposure to radio frequency fields has any effect on the immune system. I now understand that cellular radiation is in the non-ionizing spectrum. Please elaborate on the distinctions between non-ionizing and ionizing radiation. Due to the high energy content of ionizing radiation, it is possible that if you are exposed to it, your body's chemical bonds could be damaged and broken, leading to uncontrolled cell growth and the development of cancer. Because the energy content of dead radiation is insufficient to cause such chemical breakage, this kind of effect breakage of chemical bonds is not possible with the type of ionizing radiation that is used in cells at Cellular Technology. The entire range of non-ionizing radiation, from visible light to ultraviolet light, lacks the energy to break chemical bonds. The only known effect of radio frequency radiation exposure is heating. Although there are no health risks associated with 5G, there will be practical challenges associated with the switch. We'll have to figure out how to deal with some of the growing pains, such as switching to a newer generation of technology, which can result in more expensive plans and a faster data speed that makes it much easier to exceed your data cap. Even though prices for the first generation of 5G phones are beginning to drop, I wonder if it will take longer and cost more to construct additional towers to achieve the widespread coverage that consumers have come to expect. Fortunately, we've proactively begun. Qualcomm, for instance, has made 5G the default in its new chips and lead telephones in 2020 from organizations like Samsung, Apple, and OnePlus are either previously transporting with 5G or expected to have it before the year's over. This is in addition to the significant advancements that carriers such as Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T have made in the construction of the actual networks. However, the most important thing to keep in mind is that 5G and the technologies that surround it are not new. The only things that have changed are our perspectives on them and our reliance on our smartphones. Thanks for watching. We are extremely pleased to have produced this because we have been seriously working on a 5G explainer for quite some time. Please let us know if you have any additional questions about 5G or technology in general.